Hello everyone, Namaste from India and welcome to LiveWabiSabi podcast. For those who have heard this word Wabi-Sabi for the first time, let me give you a brief gist about Wabi-Sabi. So in Japanese culture, Wabi-Sabi teaches us beauty is found in incomplete, impermanent and imperfect nature of things. It reminds us to accept ourselves as we are in this moment, to trust that we are growing and see that there is beauty in the journey, not just the destination. Because the truth is, we are not meant to be perfect, we are meant to be real. Well, coming back to today's podcast, I am your host, Shilpi Gupta Shah, former VG Mrs. India, winner of Making a Difference and Unstoppable Pride of India Awards, and IIM Calcutta alumna, a women's empowerment advocate, a digital community builder, and founder of Live Wabi Sabi Life, a digital media storytelling platform that empowers everyone, specifically women. But before any of those titles, I am mother of two sons. I have been living a Wabi Sabi life myself, and let me tell you how. So, I am someone who has lived lost career opportunities, health challenges, then career switches, career break, upskilling in a digital landscape, and reinvented my life in my late 30s. And over the years, through my work and interviews with global leaders, I have witnessed how deeply people yearn to be unapologetically themselves, only after evolving in their journeys and by accepting their imperfections and learning from their mistakes. And also, finally following their passion. So, this podcast is a natural extension of that journey, combining digital storytelling, social impact, and mindset of giving back. I aim to create spaces for women leaders, coaches, homemakers, thought leaders, professionals to share their lived experiences and inspire other women on their journey, because every woman carries a story that has the power to motivate someone else. So here at Live Wabi Sabi podcast, we serve you real dose of self-love shots, empowering messages through conversations with inspiring women leaders across globe who talk about their journeys of becoming the women they are today. And today we have with us a very special guest, Ambreen Nadeem. She is a coach and founder of Psychology Talks. So, welcome to Live Wabi Sabi podcast, Ambreen. How are you feeling in this session today?
Thank you so much, Shilpi, for having me. And it's really an honor to be here with you. And listening to your story, it's really inspiring that the way you started your journey. And as you mentioned, that, living Wabi Sabi means like
Yes.
embracing our imperfection. And I think that's the main essence or the virtue of human being, that we all are imperfect. And when we accept the fact that we are imperfect, we embrace ourselves as we are. So, and I think you are doing great work to spread this knowledge around across the globe. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me. And
Thank you so much.
back to your
Thank
question, that how am I feeling? Yes, I'm feeling great to be here, and really, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. And now tell our viewers from which part of world you are joining and what's the time at your place.
Oh yeah, I'm joining from Saudi Arabia, and currently it's 3:34 p.m.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here it's around 6 p.m. I am in
Okay.
India and here it's around 6 p.m. So, well, first and foremost, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, so I'll give you a very short introduction that I'm basically a psychologist by qualification, and by professional, I'm a marketing research consultant. So my
Okay.
main profession is understanding consumer psychology and helping companies to uh, to redesign or to actually design their campaigns, marketing strategies, to position their products and brands. So and that's why I conduct researches for them, and I give them advice that how they can design their strategies accordingly. And as I mentioned, that I'm a psychologist, so my passion is mental health, and spreading the knowledge of human mind, that how it works and how people can actually use their knowledge to bring about the change in their life. So that's why I share my knowledge on social media and through different, like I share knowledge through blogs, I write articles to different magazines, newspapers. So that's how people get to know about this, about psychology, about themselves, and they can bring about the change. And that is the reason why I wrote my book, The Algorithm of Life, to share the knowledge so people can actually take charge of their destiny. So, in brief, you would say that this is my brief introduction. That's what I do.
So, an author and psychologist, and also a marketeer, right?
Yeah, marketing research consultant. Yeah.
Wow, perfect, wonderful. So, our main goal at this podcast is to discover your Wabi-Sabi journey, Ambreen, and learn about the impact or work you did to become the woman you are today. So, your journey beautifully bridges psychology, leadership, human transformation, and since you have authored a book as well. So, what first sparked your curiosity about the human mind? Because I mean, these are two different poles when it comes to marketing and psychology. Or maybe you could be better at marketing by using the psychology method. So please tell us something about what sparked the curiosity about learning about the human mind.
Okay, yeah. So thank you for asking this question. Actually, this is um, it goes back to my childhood, and basically when like my actually I used to read palms. So my dad used to be a palmist. My uncle used to be a great palmist, like who could actually predict your events, your life, as per like by time that it's going to happen at that time on that date exactly. And it used to fascinate me, and I learned from them, and kind of I would just say that I inherited from them as well, that I got interested in palmistry. I used to read palm of people because it first of all it really fascinates me, and then secondly this that again I could predict their future easily. People get happy that when get to know about what is their future, but at the same time it really made me question that if I could predict their future, what is in their hand, right? So this is one thing that was the beginning of my curiosity, that like if what is exactly why they do like this, why they can actually avoid if anything undesirable is written in their palm or is in their destiny. So how they can do it, that's the first reason I get interested. And then of course I try to find out that what is the best possible field through which I can learn about this. So I just thought that psychology is like closest field which can help me understand that how human mind works. And that's how I started into I started reading more about psychology, and then of course I took up this for my higher studies, and I became a psychologist. And but I chose industrial psychology as my main specialization. The reason why is that although I love clinical side of it, but the main thing is that when you deal with the patients, especially with extreme mental disorders, it gets heavy on me. So like I usually connect with people, and it's like I'm kind of an empath. So I started to actually feel their pain, and it's too overwhelming for me. So I just decided that not to follow the clinical side, and instead to go for industrial psychology. And that's how I landed up into this like consumer marketing field. So right after doing my masters, I joined Unilever, which is a giant multinational company even at that point in time. So there I learned marketing research, like to conduct, like do a lot of like I've learned it through my degree, but of course I learned how to apply all this knowledge. So that's how I developed expertise in marketing research. And I actually served Unilever for almost nine and a half years. And then my husband moved to Saudi Arabia. I'm basically from Pakistan. So Yeah, so I learned, I did my master's, I did my job in Pakistan, and then when my husband moved to Saudi Arabia, I moved to Saudi Arabia. I had to, like, my profession was my career was at peak, but I had to leave the job and join my husband. And that was a big transition for me because I was so career driven, and I thought that my career was, as I said, that my career was at the peak at that time. That I know that I'll be getting promoted at this, and like I was managing like lots of global teams and regional projects. But then when I moved to Saudi Arabia, everything like finished, and I had my kids were small at that time, and there was like it's a completely different country. Nobody was there to talk, and this like I was just stuck with my kids and my home, and like I was just changing diapers, and I didn't know what to do at that point in time. Although at that point in time, I was getting like offers from different companies, but then I decided that if I start to go out for a full-time job, like when in my country, I had my circle, like, my parents were there, my in-laws were there, my kids were easily, taken care by them, even if if I opt for the job. But here in the Saudi, there was no one to help me around. So then I chose not to opt for 9 to 5 job, which was very depressing and which was very hard decision because I always wanted to have financial freedom. I wanted to have independence and empowerment, not like being more dependent. But at the same time, I know that my kids need me. So, anyways, I decided not to pursue 9 to 5 career. But after a few years, like as kids started to grow a little bit, so I started doing my freelance work. So I started doing researches for the companies and taking the project independently. It was also very difficult, but then I tried my work, tried to figure out that how to establish myself, how to establish my identity, and I worked hard. But and then I started enjoying it because when you started doing your work, you have the flexibility. You have the freedom to choose. Like if you can't take more project, you can actually say that okay, no, I'm full at that point in time, or my kids need me. Sometimes my kids have exams, or they are not well, or maybe we're traveling. So I could just say no to lots of projects. So I started enjoying it, and it was also giving me some freedom and flexibility. So anyway, that's how it did. But then I was also working on my book, and that goal of publishing my book was actually I set my goal 20 years ago. I mean, more than 20 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
because when I was, as I said, that like when I used to read palms, and it used to fascinate me. At that point in time, I decided that I will write a book, and I will share that story that why I decided. But then I was just in that point in time when I was doing my independent work independently, I was working on my book as well, like slowly and gradually, because I have developed the plan at that moment, at that time. So I would just say that in that moment, like those were the moment, very hard moments that it was. I know that I'm not perfect because coming back to your question, because the thing is, women are supposed to portray, or maybe have lots of expectation from society. You have to be independent, you have to be a good mother, you have to be a good housewife and everything. You can't do all the roles at one point in time, at one moment, and you have to pick and choose. And you have to pick and choose as per your own personality, as per your own capabilities, and as per your own priorities. So some decisions were hard. As I told you that when I moved to Saudi Arabia, it was very hard decision not to follow or not to work 9 to 5 job and be a full-time housewife. But I chose this because I had my priorities, and I knew that I cannot be perfect for everyone, but I know that I need to embrace that imperfectness. So that was, I would just say, that was my point that, like, that led me to pursue this path of my life journey.
This is very interesting, and that when you said that being mindful of your priorities, that is very important. And you have already lived your kintsugi moment. You know what kintsugi is also a Japanese term where broken pottery is
Yeah.
mended with gold. So I mean, though you quitted your job at Unilever, and then I mean, moved to another place, and then started your own, started following your passion, and started making money out of it. I mean, money, and I mean, that became your daily routine of taking care of your kids, and then following your passion, being a businesswoman as well. So that is all part of a kintsugi moment, that you filled your cracks with gold. So that's the best part. So now I want to understand from you that your work revolves around helping others achieve their highest potential, right? So
Yeah.
how did you first learn to believe in your own, because I know that must be hard for you inside. So how did
Absolutely.
that shift happen?
Um, this, I would just say that you need to have a passion for whatever you do, and that's
Mhm.
the only reason why this. So I just told you that I actually had the goal of writing a book. And why did I have this goal? I just tell you that when I was in my teens, my dad lost a job, and then when he actually lost a job, we faced a lot of financial crisis, and we didn't know that how to, like, lots of challenges that we were it was difficult for us. And having been in the situation where you enjoy everything, and then you find out that, okay, no, it cannot be done because you don't have that much money to afford this kind of luxury. So these kind of things really impacted me severely, and I actually gradually developed a depression. And that depression kind of turned into a very severe, and at that point in time, I had developed like kind of a suicidal thoughts at that time, because I just thought that I cannot survive in this situation. And like being a palmist, I know that these are like my life was kind of full with like lots of challenges and struggles. I said, what's the point of living this life? But at the same time, I was just thinking that maybe I need to figure out that what's this easiest way to actually um, end this life. And during that conversation in my head, um, I saw a trail of ants, and I saw that although it's a very insignificant event, and we see these ants all the time, but when you have this kind of thoughts going on, you try to figure out that maybe, or maybe you link your life with them. So I saw the trail of ants going, and they were carrying a big, load on themselves. They're very small, and they were carrying heavy load, like much heavier than their own self. And they were following one trail, right? They were following me. They were in one line, and their line was actually then stopped by something. So which really impacted me, that they, although they were carrying such a heavy load, they did not give up. What they did was they actually reroute, they changed their direction, and trying to figure out the other way. And that is small, I would say, very insignificant event had such a huge impact on me. And they said, like, okay, there was the path they were supposed to go, but these obstacles are there for temporary period. And maybe like those blockages were there, they did not give up. When these insignificant insect did not give up, that who am I to give up? Like, I had lots and lots of things. And then I started to changing my thoughts. And when I started to changing my thoughts, I started to feel better. I started to see more opportunities. I started to see the change. And that is the time when I decided that, oh my God, that I need to tell everyone that they can change their lives by just changing that thought pattern. But at that point in time, I was very young. And secondly, I didn't have any resources. And thirdly, that people around me were not very supportive. Even when I shared this idea, people, especially from, like from a woman from a South Asian country, if someone has a big goal, or a goal, I would say not even a big goal. If writing a book may not be a big goal for someone, but then women are supposed to actually have one goal in their lives, and that is just to get married and have kids. Other than that, nothing else is usually appreciated by the society. So when I started to sharing this goal with others, the people used to laugh, and they said, why do you want to do this? They want me to actually follow the path that they think is the best for me, or which actually society allows me. So at that point in time, considering all those limitations, and having that thing in mind that these ants did not change their did not actually give up on that, and they actually just changed their path. So I just said, okay, I have this goal to write this book, but I need to give myself time. And then I carefully actually made a plan of 20 years that I will actually publish the book after 20 years. When,
Oh.
yeah, in that 20 years, I actually intentionally actually planned everything that by that point in time, I need to finish my studies. Then at certain point in time, I need to be established in my career. Then I need to get married and have kids. And when all these things done, then I will publish a book. And in those time, when I'm like establishing my careers and establishing my family, I was also like trying to establish my identity. For example, even when I completed my master's, I started writing articles, contributing my articles to the different like magazines and newspaper at that point in time, and started giving lectures to the university. So I know, I knew that when I need to develop my or establish my identity, because when I offer my book, there must be someone to read it. Otherwise, there's no point of writing a book. So I was creating um, this identity, but I was doing it because I said that I'm basically from Pakistan, so I was doing it only in that country. And when I moved to Saudi Arabia, so I was back to zero. Like I would say, okay, that was my plan to publish, and then like everything came back to zero because there was no identity in this, and I didn't know how to do it. But I would just say that everything happens for a reason, because that was one big challenge for me. But I took it as a challenge, and I started establishing identity. And then then I started my social media journey, because I wanted to share my knowledge with other people, and my articles, my blogs were resonating. Started resonating with people, and I got so much appreciation from the people when I start sharing my articles and blog. And anyways, all those things started working, although it did not work easily. I had to struggle lots and lots of, and I had to actually accept lots of challenges, do lots of effort. And in 2022, I published my book, which was my dream book. And then within 24 hours, that book became a bestseller in 8 Amazon categories. And
Oh,
it's still
wow.
those whoever reads that book,
Can
they
you
come.
do you have a book by your side? Can you show us
Um,
like this, or maybe you can spell the name of the book
yeah,
once again?
the name of the book is The Algorithm of Life. I don't have it with me right now, but
Okay, no worries.
yeah, you can find that book available in Amazon.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that is, I would say that it is somehow, this is the brief journey. I would say that this is how everything, like my goal was there. And I think that everything, you just need to plan and keep pursuing your passion. You need to have that passion to pursue it. There will be challenges, there will be struggles, but you need to take it as a challenge and move forward. So that's one thing that you can just achieve the goal.
Okay, thank you so much, Ambreen, for sharing everything so candidly. And at Live Wabi Sabi podcast, we generally talk about self love shots. So, what are your doses of self love shots which you don't miss on a regular basis?
Yeah, this is a wonderful question, because if you don't love yourself, or if you don't spend time on yourself, if you don't invest in yourself, nothing's going to work out, and eventually it will lead to burnout. So yes, I have my me times, I have time that where I find growth. So if I like, I have a very busy day, but I have divided my day in a way that, some things that is for me, that is for my kids, that is for my house, and that is for my career. So like, I usually wake up very early, like around 4:30 or maybe 5, or sometimes 5:30. Like, so like, you can say the 4:30 to 5:30 I wake up. And when I wake up, I usually, like, first of all, I pray, and then I do meditation. I do yoga also, but not very regularly. Sometimes I miss.
So
It
any kind of skincare Ambreen, because that must be there in your daily routine, in your self love
Yes,
shot. So please
yes.
share that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this meditation and yoga really helps, because
Mhm.
when I do like the breathing exercise and the meditation and everything, that
Apart
really
from
activates.
yoga and meditation, what else do you do to your face
Okay. Other than
to be
that,
to be this beautiful?
I love to pamper myself. So yeah, even when I was young, I usually used to do like cleansing every week, and I do. It doesn't have to be, extravagant or luxurious product. It has to be like, I used to, like, from the beginning, like, I used to do use natural products, like, simple tips, like just washing your face with baking soda, or maybe like putting a mask of just egg, so it tightens the skins. So many things you can do it, like just using natural products. So this is the one thing that, I do it very regularly. I don't have to wait to go to salon or parlor. Yes, I do go, but that doesn't mean that, I have to go every other day or regularly, because usually I don't have time. When you go to a salon, you need to spend time, and you need to spend money as well. And so the thing is, the quick fix is that you do it yourself easily. It's okay, it's not. And if you do it regularly, you may not need to spend hours in that. So I do it very regularly. You don't have to do it. And as I said, it doesn't have to be very extravagant and luxurious, or like very expensive products you need to use. Everything is available in nature. So that's what you can say, that I do it for myself.
Okay. Now, who is your biggest cheerleader, Ambreen? I mean, in your journey, who is your biggest cheerleader, your biggest support system?
Yeah, my biggest support system is my mother. She's the only one, like, there were lots and lots of time that, as I told you, that being a woman from South Asian country, when society expect only one goal from a woman, my mom was the one who supported my idea. No one else did. Like, no one, literally no one else. Even from my family, there were lots of challenges, lots of obstacles from there. But my mother stood for me, and she said, no, if she wants to study, more, especially in psychology. People at that point in time, people think, oh my God, what you want to study? Psychology? This is the field for the people who actually go to the mental hospital or something like that. And they could never understand this. But my mom was the one that, okay, if something that I like and I enjoy, I must follow my passion. So she was the one. When I wanted to do a job at that point in time, lots of people around me did not even support that, I should go out and do a job, and say, like, it's not good for women to actually do a job and like this. But she was the one who supported me. So at every point in time, my biggest support is my mom.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And now, how can people connect with you, Ambreen? I mean, or do you have any free resource or free buy through? I mean, will you like to share it with the community? First and
Yeah.
foremost, how can people connect with you? And then anything which you have to offer to, or you have to share with the community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually available on all the social media. So, but my main focus is LinkedIn. So I'm
Mhm.
very active on LinkedIn. So if people wants to connect with me, they can actually message me over there, and I can reply to them. And but I'm actually on almost all social media platform like Insta, Facebook, Substack, TikTok, YouTube, on all these like Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Oh,
like
wow.
name it. So it's so
Name
they
it,
can
and you.
yeah,
Perfect, perfect.
thank
So
you so much.
thank you so much, Ambreen. And you must be having a website as well. Can
Yeah,
people
yeah,
connect
it's
over there as well?
absolutely, yeah. They can follow me. It's my website is the psychologytalks.com. So it's like
Okay.
not only psychology talks, the psychology, THE, and then psychologytalks.com. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So thank you so much for your time, Amreen. And this was such a beautiful conversation. And yeah, I wish you best of luck in whatever endeavors you take. And I wish that someday I will be reading your book as well. It says Algorithms of Life, right?
Yeah, yeah, the algorithm of life. Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you so
thank you so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank you so much. And to everyone who is watching or will be watching later, if you wish to share your journey and support, another women's journey, then you are most welcome to comment below or to connect, and we will reach out to you. And just remember that you are allowed to unfold at your own pace. You are allowed to become without rushing the process. And until next time, stay real, stay gentle with yourself, and keep embracing the beauty of perfectly imperfect journey. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ambreen.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It's really an honor.